Hello, how's everyone doing? Oha konbanchiwa. We will be getting started with my Japanese coach shortly. Okay, so there is actually a little something I wanted to talk about in terms of continuing my Japanese study while streaming, but I'm going to save that for later, hopefully when more people appear, but like the highest count of people I've ever had attending the same stream is 3. So I'll probably just wait until like I see 2 people. Or if that doesn't happen, it'll just be either on the break or at the end of the stream, if I remember. If I don't remember, I'm going to be posting it on Blue Sky and YouTube anyway. So, something to look forward to. You know, I really wish I could, like, do something about this noise, but I'm not really sure. I'm talking about the noise coming from my microphone. I have a noise gate, but then I know there's this noise compression or suppression thing, but the problem is I have tried this before, but it didn't really work out. Let me just try it out right now. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm like really quiet, sometimes it just won't sound very good. I know I've done this very same thing way back in my Spyro 2 playthrough when I was defeating Ripto without getting hit for the first time there. But then the audio kind of got a little bit messed up, and I was a little unhappy with how that turned out. Let's see, and then this one seems to have a little more control, but it says low quality. Suppression level. Yeah, this won't do. I'll just adjust the noise gate for now then. Good day, Warevo. How are you doing? I'm just trying to fiddle with the noise gate here, because I know I would get very, very irritated by the noise that comes from my mic, but I'm not sure if there's anything I could really do about that. That's why when I record my videos, I always use the noise reduction tool on Audacity. That's how I actually do it, because I just can't trust OBS to do it with good quality, like how I like it. And it probably just has something to do with my headset just being, well, not really the highest quality. Just finished recording episode 3 of Ape Escape. Oh, okay. I've heard about Ape Escape plenty of times, but I don't really know much about it, I'll be honest. Alright, I suppose now's a good time to get started on my Japanese coach once again. Alright, let's see here. I'll get Paint started up right now, just so I have that available for those Kanji lessons. It's a really stupid sounding concept when you say it out loud, but the execution is awesome. Let's see, it's this one. There we go. It's a game I could try out if I eventually finish Gex 3. Perhaps. Since I've never played it before, though, that would have to be, like, something I either, like, play on my own time or maybe stream it. But I don't really have a plan to, like, stream it. There are many other games I want to play, too, so it's kind of low on my priority list right now. Okay. Let's get back to my Japanese coach. We'll be doing lessons 61 through 70 this time. Alright. Let's go into learning here. And... oh, we have to go to the second page now. Look at us! Alright, so... we're going to be talking about shopping this time. That'll be our theme for this lesson. And up here, we were talking about Mount Fuji, a dormant volcano that last erupted in 1707 to 08. Mount Fuji sits just west of Tokyo, from which it can be seen on a clear day. Yeah, Mount Fuji is quite famous. I'm sure everybody who doesn't even know Japan that well knows about it. Alright, lesson time. Remember when I told you that I would use all the clothing words for shopping? Well, now you'll be able to use them that way too. I love shopping. Kaimono ga daisuki desu. So, shopping.
Kaimono.
Kaimono, as you saw there. Next is cheap,
Yasui.
yasui, and expensive,
Takai.
takai. Takai also means tall, by the way, so it's like a tall price, asking for a tall order, I guess. New, we have
Atarashi.
atarashi. And for a never-used item,
Shinpin.
shinpin. So, atarashi and shinpin, when you're studying vocabulary with kanji later, they use the same kanji, and it looks like this. I might as well draw it. Wait, how is it drawn again? I want to say this is it. I just want to make sure really quick though. Tools, type. Ah, yes, I remembered it. Okay. It can be difficult to memorize kanji. Like, sometimes I can see the kanji and I can instantly recognize it, but when I try to recall it for writing, then it kind of stumps me. That's why you should always have some sort of mnemonic for memorizing these kanji. So, for example, this one looks like an axe. I believe that is like sometimes called the axe radical. There's a tree right here, and this is for stand. So we can say that we're chopping down a tree with an axe to make a new stand, like a lampstand, let's say. But you don't have to listen to me here. That's not what we're learning here. But I just wanted to point out that atara as part of atarashi and shin as part of shinpin use that same kanji. It means new. And bin here is a suffix of sorts that talks about an item. So that's one way you can memorize a set of vocabulary words based around items. Hin and pin. Yeah. It certainly helps me as I saw the pattern when I was studying Anki, my Anki deck. So to review,
Kaimono.
kaimono is shopping,
Yasui.
yasui is cheap,
Takai.
takai is expensive,
Atarashi.
atarashi, new,
Shinpin.
shinpin, a never used item. Ikura is an important word when you don't know how much something is. Ikura desu ka? How much is it?
いくら
Ikura desu ka? Speaking of Gex, Gex Trilogy is available for pre-order until June. June 6th? I thought it was July. Huh. Already ordered my copy. Well, I'll have to take a look at that. There's some, I normally don't pre-order, but I might actually do it. It's one of the few times that I might actually do it. Especially since I would really love that Amano artwork. I am a big Final Fantasy fan, so Yoshitaka Amano is a name that I know very well, and I admire his artwork for the Final Fantasy series. So anyhow, Ikura is an important word to know because it asks how much.
もの
Mono is for object or thing. I don't pre-order either, but I love Gex. I got the classic edition with the PS1 jewel case art. Yeah, I was thinking of just getting the Switch version. Nothing too fancy. I didn't want to have all this stuff. I'm on a budget, after all. Alright, so for sale,
販売
hanbai, deal,
取引
torihiki. So yeah, that's like a dealing or a transaction. And then a sales clerk or a store employee,
店員
tenin. Not tenin, tenin. Just be aware of that. As always, it's time to get these words into your head. Well, alright, I guess we could do spelltastic here.
いくら高い
Takai. Expensive.
安い
Yasui.
取引
Torihiki. Transaction.
新しい
Atarashi. New.
買い物
Kaimono. Shopping.
販売
Hanbai. Sale.
新品
Shinpin. Never used item.
もの
Ono. Thing. Object.
店員
Tenin. Store employee. I might as well show this. Kaimono has the word mono in it. Mono is a pretty important word to know because, well, yeah, it can be attached to certain words and it'll make a different related word. So kaimono combines the E variant of kau, so that's base 2, yeah, kai, and adds mono. So it literally means the thing of buy, I guess. Things to buy or something. Take it easy with another game. Nah, I'm good. This was a nice, easy lesson. But next time we start on adverbs, be prepared. Alrighty then, adverbs. I don't know why I put this in here, but in my notes I wrote the word for hourly rate, which is GQ. I don't know why I wrote that. I guess I can, like, take a look in the Jisho. Just to see how it's written in kanji. It's for my own curiosity. Alright. So it uses the kanji for time and the kanji for wage, which is something I don't think I actually know about yet for some reason. Seems like a pretty important one. But then again, you know, by the time I would finish my Anki deck, I would be learning like 2,000 kanji. And that's like nowhere near what I'm like remembering. So, okay, let's move on to adverbs. Do you remember that an adjective is a word that describes a noun? In Japanese, an adverb is a word that describes a verb or adjective. I'm going to tell you about two kinds of adverbs, ku adverbs and ni adverbs. You know, I actually forgot that there were two types of adverbs. That helps. In this lesson, I'm going to focus on ku adverbs. I'll tell you more about ni adverbs in the next lesson. Ku adverbs are strongly related to e adjectives. You do remember e adjectives, right? Oh, well, now that you put it like that, that makes sense, because there's some times where you, like, replace the e part of an e adjective with ku to describe something. So, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Alright. Making a ku adverb is easy once you have an e adjective. Simply change the e at the end into a ku instead. Here's some ku adverbs to learn.
Hidoku.
Hidoku, which comes from hidoi, which means severe or dreadful. Weakly.
Yowaku.
Yowaku, which comes from yowai, weak. Powerfully.
Chikaratsuyoku.
Chikaratsuyoku, which comes from chikaratsuyoi, or tsuyoi, which is powerful or strong. Quickly.
Hayaku.
Hayaku, which comes from hayai, which is quick, fast, or early. You'll often hear somebody say hayaku when they want to do something quickly. When they want you to do something quickly, they'll be like, hayaku, hayaku! And then badly,
Waruku.
waruku, which comes from warui, which means bad. Can you see how they're used? Yamada-san wa hayaku itta. Yamada went quickly. Alright, so we have
Yoku.
yoku, which means well. It comes from yoi, which is a way of saying good. Yoku could also mean often, by the way. Something you should know. Beautifully.
Utsukushiku.
Utsukushiku, which comes from utsukushi, beautiful.
Muzukashiku.
Muzukashiku, which comes from muzikashi, difficult. Incredibly.
Sugoku.
Sugoku, which comes from sugoi, which means incredible or amazing. And then
Yasuku.
yasuku, which means cheaply and comes from yasui, which is a word we just learned. Cheap. How many mastery points do you have? Let's do some flashcards.
Yoku.
This should be pretty easy.
Hayaku. Utsukushiku. Yasuku.
Cheaply?
Waruku. 難しく力強くひどく弱くすごく
There we go. Of course, teaching a grammar principle isn't too useful if I don't show you how it is used. So, well said.
よく言った
Yoku itta. And I ran quickly.
早く走った
Hayaku hashitta. Fair enough. Have you memorized these adverbs? Sure, let's do some memory. Oh.
すごく 難しく
Did I see severe? Oh, shoot. I read that wrong.
早くひどく よく
No, I wanted to click that.
美しく
Oh. Man, I kind of... I'm not in the best mood for memory, I guess. I mean, I could absolutely understand it. It's just, you know, it goes by so fast. I have to think too fast. That wasn't too bad, was it? Next time I'll tell you more about the neat adverbs. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Are you ready for more adverb action? This time I'm going to cover neat adverbs. As you may have guessed, neat adverbs are based on not adjectives. So if you need to go back and review what those are, you should do so now. That would be lesson... What is it? Lesson 33. Many not adjectives can be changed into neat adverbs. All you need to do is change the not at the end into a neat. Here's some neat adverbs already set up for you. So, easily.
簡単に
Kantan ni. Kantan means simple. Rudely.
失礼に
Shitsure ni. Shitsure. That means rudeness. Quietly.
静かに
Shizuka ni, which comes from shizuka, quiet. Enormously.
非常に
Hijou ni. I don't remember hearing about hijou before, but I guess that means like enormous or enormosity, if that's even a word. And practically,
実際的に
jisai teki ni. Huh. Okay, I'll just let that one sink in, I guess. See how the ni is always at the end? Generally.
一般的に
Ipanteki ni. Efficiently.
効果的に
Okateki ni. Basically.
基本的に
Kihonteki ni. Partially.
部分的に
Ubunteki ni. Ubun means part, so that works. Kihon, I believe, means fundamental. Koka is effect. Ippan, That probably comes from something. Ippan. Oh, one part, I believe. Something like that. One part. So one part, teki, general, and then ni, generally. And then
永遠に
an ni. An is eternity. Oh, hello, Gecko Man. Gecko 1993. I know, we all have busy schedules. I can't really expect everyone to be here, you know? Alright, so... Jisei Tekini. I wonder what Jisei actually means. Practice, probably? I'm just gonna take a look in the Jisho here. Jisei, actual, real, true. Oh, okay. Yeah, it has the kanji for truth, which I am pretty familiar with. Alright. I'll give you more details once you finish this game. Let's give it a shot. Practically.
実際的に
General. 一般的
一般
に
的に
部分的
部
に
分的に
永遠
永
に
遠に
効果
効果
的に
的に
静かに
静かに
失礼に
失礼に
簡単に
簡単に
basically 基本的に
基本的に
enormously 非常
非
に
常に
There we go. Remember, not all not adjectives can be used as ni adverbs. Remember the word baka? It's a not adjective, but can be used as a noun as well. But if you said baka ni imashita, it wouldn't mean I spoke stupidly. It would actually mean I spoke to the moron. This is because baka is often used as a noun, so it seems more like the ni is being used as the direction particle. So I guess if you want to say something is like stupid or foolish, you would actually say bakarashi. That's what you should say. As long as you remember that rule and use common sense, you should be fine. I think I would like it if they went into a little more detail about why some, like, not adjectives can't be ni adverbs. Oh well. Anyway, some example sentences. Yamada-san wa shizuka ni benkyou shiteiru.
山田さんは静かに勉強している
Yamada studying quietly. And Terakami-san wa kantan ni dekita.
寺上さんは簡単にできた
Terakami did it easily. How well can you use them in sentences? Fill in the blank. Okay. He is eternally studying. And I guess I have to put in a space?
彼は永遠に勉強しています
Partially understands. Partially. 部分的に
彼は部分的に日本語がわかる
generally strong. Let's see. 一般的に
男の人は一般的に強いです
spoke 失礼に
彼は失礼に話した。
Kanji, easily. Kantan.
漢字を簡単に書きました。
Enormously interesting. Oh shoot, what was enormous? 非常に。
これは非常に面白いです。
効果的に。Better hurry up for this last one.
彼は効果的に勉強している。
Let's see. 実際的に
実際的にしてください。
basically. 基本的に。
女の人は基本的に美しい。彼女は静かに読んでいる。
I hate that you have to put in a space for that. I really do not like that with the fill in the blanks. Like, you're not going to type these in Romaji, and you are not going to have a space between the not adjective and the ni. Like, why would you teach it like that? I don't get it. Actually, I do know why. It's because it's copy-pasted from other My Language Coach games. Sometimes the formula hurts more than it really helps. Alright, that's all I'm going to cover for adverbs for now. There are more kinds of adverbs out there, though, so keep an eye out for them. Well, are you going to tell us about them? Next time we're going to learn how to ask for permission. May I teach that to you? Alright. Lesson 64. May I? Alright. There are going to be times when you'll want to ask for permission in Japanese. Fortunately, it's rather simple to do. That is, as long as you remember how to conjugate verbs. The base that I'm going to be using is base te. In order to ask for permission, you need to make the sentence about what you want to do. So, if you wanted to ask permission to go to Japan, the base sentence would be Nihon ni iku. With the basic sentence, we need to change the verb around. Change the verb to base te and add moi desu ka to the end. This gives us the final sentence of Nihon ni itte moi desu ka? Which means may I go to Japan. Here's some words that you might find useful in asking for permission. Ignore,
無視する。
mushisuru, which we have actually already learned previously, if I remember correctly. To resume or continue,
続ける。
suzukeru, to begin,
始める。
hajimeru, to finish,
終わる。
owaru, to move,
動く。
goku. Find someone you like and ask if you can kiss them.
キスする。
Kisuru. Anyway, count,
数える。
kazoeru. To polish,
磨く。
migaku. This is also used when you want to say you brush your teeth. Hao migaku. To tease,
いじめる。
ijimeru. And obey,
従う。
shitagau. Ever heard of the haps of Susumu Matsushita? He's one of my favorite artists of all time. He's done cover artwork for Famitsu magazine and various video game cover artwork. My dad has some of his work. Huh. I don't think I've heard the name before, but it's likely I've seen his work. I'm gonna check it out right now, if nobody minds. Uh, His most famous works are the designing of the mascots Neppy and Ripsy of the Oryx Buffaloes, concept art for the Monkey Magic television series, and video game artwork for Hudson's Adventure Island series, Motor Toon Grand Prix, and Maximo Goes to Glory. Interesting. So yeah, looks like I have seen some of his artwork before. I just haven't really... I didn't really have that in mind. I don't really think about the artists of cover art most of the time, I'll be honest. I probably should, though. I'm usually more into, like, concept art, if anything. Anyhow. May I have you play a game? Not Spelltastic. One more game just to make sure that you remember these words. Okay. He's Japan's equivalent to the late, great Greg Martin, who did Sonic's North American design and VHS cover art in Warner Brothers. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Kazoi.
動く
Stagao. Did we see obey? Yes.
従う
Stagao.
終わる
Hajimeru. To begin.
縮
Tease.
める
Kazoeru.
数えるキスする
Kisu.
磨
Gaku.
く
Oh, I wanted to click that.
無視する
Ushisuru.
続ける
Tsuzukeru.
始め
Hajimeru.
る
There we go. Alright. Asking permission isn't hard at all, is it? Next time I'll be covering more kanji. Hope you're enjoying it. Alright then, so yeah, to review, may I, you use verb-based te and temu, and then add moi desu ka. It would have been nice if I had some example sentences for that, you know, to kind of make the grammar points stick. Oh well. As part of my, like, study, one of the shows that I'm actually watching for my Japanese study is actually a Japanese version of Miffy and Friends. They tend to use that, like, temoi, quite a bit. The desu ka makes it more polite, but in, like, a friendly, casual setting, you would just say temoi. So, like, let's say, katemoi, that is like if you want to keep something as a pet, you would ask katemoi. Anyway, next up we have more kanji. What is the theme of this here? In case you're wondering, all the kanji that I've taught you so far is what is taught to first graders in Japan. When you finish the 8th kanji lesson, you'll be all caught up with them. Sure, and yet my rank by this point is like 4th grader, which is completely incorrect. I told you before in like several episodes ago, don't pay any attention, like, literally to the ranking system that this game gives you. Because you're being taught what first graders are being taught. Anyhow, our first kanji here is heaven. So, alright. Let me just move forward first before I make any comments. By itself, it is ten, which means heaven. Ama no kawa, which is literally the river of heaven. It actually is the Milky Way when we refer to that. And then tenshi is angel. Let's see. Now I'm gonna bring up paint here, and I'm going to draw the kanji here. So, you might remember the kanji for rain. I'll draw this here. Think of this top part as like a cloud. And then these droplets here are rain. Not sure what the part here would be, though, but think of it like that, and then when you draw the kanji for heaven, you're basically writing the kanji for big under a cloud. Heaven is big. That's a way you can think of it. That's a way you can learn the kanji there. Next is a kanji that will definitely pop up a lot in your studies, ki. It also has many meanings. Spirit, soul, mood, energy. It's a lot. So ki by itself is pretty vague. It means spirit. We've learned genki, which means energetic or lively or healthy. And then tenki, when we combine heaven with spirit or energy, it actually translates to weather. We might as well review how to write the kanji. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that part there is pretty big. Yeah, you're basically writing a me katakana right there. Without the me there, by the way, it's the kanji for, I believe, steam or vapor? I haven't really learned that kanji, but I have seen it. Anyway, next up is evening. It very much looks like the katakana ta. So that should be easy to remember. Alright, so I think it can be used by itself to mean evening. You would just have it as you. But it would probably be a lot easier if we just had it with gata here. You gata, evening. And then yuyake, sunset. Alright, next up we have seashell. Kai. Alright, yeah, it just tells us kai, seashell. However, there's something I would love to explain here. So, let me make the brush size a little smaller. So, in the distant past, shells were currency. And this is why we use this as part of kaimono. Yeah, I believe this is the kanji for mono. This is kaimono, which means shopping. So, yeah. It is also used in the verb kau, which means to buy. But it seems right here they're just deciding to lump it in as kai. You can refer to shopping as this without the e kana. I would have liked it if they, told you that, but, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Alright, this is stone. Now, you do not want to confuse this kanji for migi, for right kanji. But first, let's see. Ishi, by itself it is ishi, which means a stone or rock. Sekiyu is petroleum. And jishaku is magnet. Okay. Well, anyhow, if I may bring up my paint tool here. So, this is the kanji for stone. Meanwhile, this is the kanji for right. You don't want to get these two mixed up. This is the main thing to look out for when you look for, distinguish between the kanji for stone and the kanji for right. The direction right. Not to mention, the stroke order has this go first and then swipe right. Alright, that should be good enough. Next is king. Oh. So we can combine this with sama, sama, king, and then oji, prince. So yeah, this basically indicates royalty. It's pretty easy to write as well, and hopefully easy to memorize. And deriving from that very kanji, we have the kanji for sphere or gem, or ball. Tama and gyoku. Alright, so by itself it is tama, sphere, medama, eyeball, and then hogyoku, jewel. There's also a word, mizudama, I believe, for a water drop. Alright, chikara, power. Power and strength. Chikara, yoku, riku, or riki. Alright, so we have chikara. By itself, it is chikara, which means power. For physical power, we have tairyoku, and for hydraulic power, we have suiryoku. Suiryoku. We also have fire power, karyoku, and electric power, electricity, denryoku. And there's another word you might hear called goriki, which is like brute strength. And as a matter of fact, one of the Pokemon is actually named Goriki. It is Machoke here in English, though. So there's a bit of trivia for you there. Alright, we have vehicle or wheel. So by itself, it is kuruma, which is car. Densha, when we combine a vehicle with electricity, it becomes densha, train. Specifically an electric train. And then we have fusha, wind end vehicle, or wind and wheel. It is a windmill. So something great about this kanji is that it does look like a boxcar. I believe this would be a boxcar. Looking at it from the top down. So yeah, it would be like this. That's like a very simple vehicle that probably anyone could make if they had some way of making a wheel. Anyway, our last kanji is sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has the kanji for stand up top and the kanji for day at the bottom. I don't know exactly how those two will correlate to make sound, but let's try to think something up. Let's see. The rooster stands on the rooftops during the day and shouts, "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" Yeah, I think that works. So, by itself, it is oto, which is sound, ongaku, music, hatsuon, pronunciation. We have actually learned hatsuon before, hatsuon suru, to pronounce. Alright, ready to face the music? I won't do fading characters, though. I'll do scrolls, though. Ganbatte. Alright, I found a stone. Watashi wa ishi o mitsukemashita. Don't stumble. Ongaku o kiku koto ga suki desu. Let's see. 2, 3, 5. There we go. Yugata made matte kudasai. Please wait until evening. It's basically the katakana. Katakana. Genki desu ka? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kai ga hoshii desu ka? Do you want a seashell? 5, 6, 7. Kono chikara wa nan desu ka? What is this power? Watashi no tomodachi wa kuruma o tsukurimashita. My friend made a car. 5, 6, 7. 王様と話しましたよ. I talked with the king. 1, 2, 3, 4. これは目玉ですか? Is this an eyeball? 1, 2, 3, 5. 今日はいい天気ですね. Good weather today, huh? There we go. Why do you say 9 out of 10? Why? Why do you say that? Huh? Huh? What does this mean? What does this mean? I guess I'll never know, especially since I've already completed this profile. Man, that really bugs me. Very likely is a bug. You're doing well. Next time, let's go over what you should and shouldn't do. I think it's a good idea that we should take a break. So, yeah, we've reached our 5-lesson checkpoint, and we'll be right back. Okay, break time's over. How's everybody feeling? Alright, so it seems next up on our agenda, we will do should and should not, suggestions basically, comparisons, uncertainty, some more kanji, especially related to education, and try. So, alright, I will be saying a little bit of something at the end of the stream, but I will also be posting it on Discord, not Discord actually. I don't have a Discord server and I don't want to make one. But I will post it on Blue Sky, that's what I meant to say, and YouTube as a community post. So that way more people will know what it is I plan on doing for like Japanese learning and study after this game. Although now that I think about it, there is also Wagotabi. I guess I can work that in there somehow as well. Alright, let's get back to my Japanese coach. Alright, so we have Old Town. Takayama's Old Town has been beautifully preserved, with many buildings and whole streets of houses dating from the Edo period, when the city thrived as a wealthy town of merchants. I'm not sure if it's really called Old Town, but well, there you go. You should pay close attention in this lesson, because I'm going to tell you how to use should in Japanese. There are two ways to use should with a verb: should do and should not do. First, let's go over the should do part. You'll need to put the verb in base ta first. Then you should put on a hoga ii desu ka, or hoga ii desu. Remember that e is an e adjective, so the des is only there for politeness. So we have to calm down.
落ち着く
Ochitsuku. To catch.
捕まる
Tsukamaru. To refuse.
断る
Towaru. Yeah, that is like to refuse, not to refuse. Wait, is that refuse a verb as well? Or is that just a noun? Oh, okay, yeah, it's a noun that I was thinking of. There's only one verb, refuse. Alright, and now to tickle,
くすぐる
kisuguru. And to make sure,
確かめる
tashikameru. I wonder if I could remember that better with kanji. Let me see. Tashikameru. Oh, I have not seen that kanji before. Never mind. Let's not worry about that then. Tashikameru. To make sure, to check, to ascertain. Alright, so... Chitsuku.
落ち着く
to calm down, to catch, tsukamaru, to refuse, kotowaru, tickle, kisuguru. Kind of sounds like you're tickling something. Kisuguru, kisuguru. I'll be able to say I could tickle your feet in Japanese or something. Anyhow, make sure. Tashikameru. Try using all these verbs, or words. Well, they are all verbs. But try using all these verbs with base ta, hoga ii desu, for practice. To doubt,
疑う、
tagau, to enjoy,
楽しむ、
tanoshimu, to fear,
恐れる、
osoreru, to leave,
離れる、
hanareru. I don't think I've actually heard that one before. I usually think of deru. Unless this is a different leave. Hanareru. To be separated, to be apart, to leave, to go away. Oh, okay. And it could also be used in regards to leaving a job or quitting a job. Alright. And then to fight.
喧嘩する、
Kenkasuru. You should play this game to help remember these words. I don't want to do spelltastic, though. One thing you need to remember about base ta hogai is that it is only used for suggestions. You can't use it for strong possibilities, such as this should work. And I am getting a phone call. Give me 1 second, viewers. Whew, sorry about the wait there. Yeah, I just had a phone call from one of my bosses just telling me what's going on. Anyhow, yeah, Holgai is mainly, it's only used for suggestions. So for something like, this should work, for a probability, that's not really what it would be used for. Alright, but so far I've only told you how to say should do. It's time to tell you more about should not do. The grammar for that is base 1 nai hogai desu. Remember how this works. Both of them have hogai desu at the end. The main differences are the bases and the negative. Lastly, since you're giving advice, the topic is usually the person that you are talking to. So the topic is you if you're talking to someone else, and it's I if you're talking to yourself. Compare how they are used. You should calm down.
落ち着いた方がいいです。
落ち着いた方がいいです。And you shouldn't fight.
喧嘩しない方がいいです。
喧嘩しない方がいいです。So, yeah, 方がいい, when translated directly, it's basically like doing this will be good. Something like that. Whole, I believe, is like method. So this method is good. That basically suggests that, yeah, it's right there. You should do this, or if we add nai hogai, it would be good if you didn't do this. Seems pretty simple. I got another sentence. I got a few sentences here, actually, that I wrote down. Yoko ni tabemono ga aru o tashikameta hoga ii desu yo. You should make sure you have food on your trip. So, yoko ni, on a trip, tabemono ga, the subject is food, aru, exists, o, so have food. Tashikameta, tashikameru is make sure, and hoga ii desu, should. And then yo is the sentence ender to basically give information. It is assertive. Kemono kusugutanai hoga ii ne. Shouldn't tickle the beast. So kemono is beast. O, object, a direct object particle. Kusuguta, ta form of kusuguru, to tickle. Nai. And then hogai. Oh, and then Tom-san, hanashita nai hogai yo. Or hanareta nai hogai yo. Tom, you shouldn't leave. Alright, bridge builder. You should be afraid. Osoreta hoga ii desu. Be afraid, be very afraid.
恐れた方がいいです。
You shouldn't refuse. Kotowaranai. Oh, hoga ii desu.
断らない方がいいです。
You shouldn't fight with me. Bokuto kenka shinai hoga ii yo.
僕と喧嘩しない方がいいよ。
You should make sure. 確かめた方がいいです。They're really driving in just the basic 方がいいです。
確かめた方がいいです。
You should catch that man. 男の人をOh, shoot. I just realized what happens here. Okay, so this is pretty stupid. We got a lot of stuff here. その男の人を捕まった方がいいです。Bottom of the screen here.
その男の人を捕まえた方がいいです。
Because there's just too many of those things. You should not doubt me. 僕が疑わない方がいい。Oh, sorry. 僕を疑わない方がいいです。
僕を疑わない方がいいです。
Also, I wonder why they're giving only 9 of those rather than 10. You should enjoy today. 今日楽しんだ方がいい。
今日を楽しんだ方がいい。
You should leave me. 僕から離れた方がいい。
僕から離れた方がいい。
Should I calm down? 落ち着いた方がいいですか？
落ち着いた方がいいですか？
Oh, yeah, I gotta make a correction here. When I was saying the nai things, yeah, I accidentally put in base ta and added nai. That's not how Japanese works. So it should say kemono suguranai hoga ii ne, and Tom-san hanaranai hoga ii yo. That would be the correct grammar there. So, my mistake. Machigata. Have you got a good feel of Hogai? You'll need it to really make use of the next lesson, comparisons. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. This is better than that. He is faster than she is. These are examples of comparisons. The grammar for comparisons is very close to the grammar for should, so let's get started on it. There are 3 main things to think about for a comparison: the adjective, the noun more like the adjective, and the noun less like the adjective. Can you tell which is which from this sentence? Cats are faster than turtles. Give you a few seconds. For the sentence, cats are faster than turtles, the adjective is fast, cats are the more like noun, and turtles are the less like noun. Did you get it right? Here's a sentence pattern to play with. More like, hoga, less like, yori, Adjective, des. This works for both kinds of adjectives. Here's some animals you can use in comparison. Who doesn't like animals? So we have dog,
犬
inu, which we have touched upon earlier when learning the kanji. Bird, we have
鳥
tori, cow,
牛
shi, horse,
馬
uma, and raccoon dog,
タヌキ
tanuki. So yes, tanuki is a raccoon dog. The raccoon dog and the fox appear a lot in Japanese mythology as shapeshifter. So foxes,
キツネ
kitsune, snake,
ヘビ
hebi, monkey,
猿
saru, turtle,
カメ
kame, and bear,
クマ
kuma. So yeah, I know the animals pretty well. Go ahead and play with the animals for a bit. You're not allergic, are you?
クマ
Alright. Bear,
猿
monkey,
カメ
turtle. Mouse, please. Thank you.
犬牛
A cow,
ヘビ
snake,
鳥タヌキ
raccoon dog,
馬
horse,
キツネ
fox. There we go. Pretty easy. Here's some examples of comparisons in action. Cows are bigger than monkeys.
牛の方が猿より大きいです
Ushi no hou ga saru yori ookii desu. Ushi no hou ga saru yori ookii desu. And Yamada is more rude than Suzuki.
山田さんの方が鈴木さんより失礼です
Yamada-san no hou ga Suzuki-san yori shitsurei desu. I would love it if we had some spaces here, because this is difficult to read. If you're just generalizing, you can get rid of the less like yori section. So if you just want to say dogs are better,
犬の方がいいです
inu no hou ga ii desu. And I am more beautiful.
私の方が美しいです
Watashi no hou ga utsukushii desu. So, yeah, as you can see, we're using no hou ga for this, for the comparison. Now to make sure that you become an expert with comparison. Fill in the blank. Ugh. Let's see. Cow. She.
あなたの方が牛より臭いです
Ah.
馬の方が犬より大きいです
This is Kitsune.
キツネの方が猿より美しいです
Snake. Maybe.
ヘビの方が亀より危ないです
Yeah.
犬の方が牛より小さいです
Tanuki.
タヌキの方があなたより面白いよ
Saru.
猿の方があなたより面白いですよ
Amen.
亀の方があなたより速くない
Let's see. Kuma.
私の方がクマより大きいです。
And
鳥の方がヘビより速いです。
alright, so yeah, we played with some animals in this comparison game. Now that we've covered suggestions and comparisons where you're telling people what you're sure of, I'm going to tell you more about being uncertain. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Uncertainty. Maybe, perhaps, probably, I wonder. I'm just so uncertain. Well, not really, but I am going to teach you about how to talk with some uncertainty, so let's get started already. These first 5 words attach to the end of a sentence after an informal ending. Informal ending. So, でしょ
でしょ
probably is formal. だろ is
う。だ
informal.
ろ
I wonder.
う。かな。
Kana.
かしら。
And the feminine version is kashira. Now, when I watch Miffy, kashira is definitely something you hear a lot. Nani kashira? So, yeah, that's because a lot of the characters in Miffy are girls. And perhaps
かもしれない。
kamoshirenai. Huh. Seems a little large. Let me see if that could be broken down when I put this in the show. Not really. So, kamoshirenai. So, it uses the kanji for no. To know, I should say. So, particle ka, which I guess is the question particle, mo, inclusive, shirenai. With that said, this is probably going to make the mini-games terrible. Because these are just... We could just... You know... I don't know how to say it. But if the sentence ends with a des or a da, those should be removed first. I probably should give you an example of what I mean. So, Mr. Smith is probably an American.
スミスさんはアメリカ人でしょ
Smith-san wa America jin desho. I wonder if she
う。
danced.
彼女は踊ったかな。
Kanojo wa odotta kana? Tabun is an interesting word because it doesn't need a particle to follow it. So, definitely,
確かに。
tashikani, uncertain,
はっきりしない。
hakkiri shinai, decision,
決定。
gette, maybe,
多分。
tabun. And decide,
決める。
kimeru. Uncertain about whether you know all these words or not? Fine, let's do a word search.
多分。
Tabun. Tashikani.
確かに。
Kimeru.
決める。
Daro.
だろ
Kashira.
う。かしら。
Kette.
決定。
Kana.
かな。
Kamoshirenai.
かもしれない。
Sho.
でしょう。
Hakkiri shinai.
はっきりしない。
Alright, still feeling uncertain? Let's test your memory. I'll try.
かしら
Oh, shoot, that's decision.
かもしれない決定だろう多分
でしょう。
でしょうかな
確かに No. はっきりし
はっき
ない。
りしない
確かに
確かに
決
決め
める。
る
Here we go. Okay, I certainly need to practice these more. Let's take a break from grammar next time. But don't assume it will be easy. It's time for more kanji! Dun dun dun! Alright, let's do some more kanji. Don't worry, I'll try to make it fun. This time we're going to go over a number of kanji that are closely related to education. I'm sure you're excited. Alright, so learn and sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My bad on that. Messed that one up pretty bad. Alright, so manabu, learn. Gakko, school. We'll learn that kanji next, actually. And daigaku is college or university. Now, let me... 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So, as you remember, this is the kanji for child. This is also a radical. So, let's think of this as the child attending a school. There's a roof on his head. Or you could think of this as a thinking cap. That's one way to memorize this kanji. Well, actually, 2 ways. Alright, next is ko for school. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So yeah, this is part of gakko, which is school. I'm pretty sure there's another, I want to say there's another reading for this. I don't know if it's like mingle. You know what? Let me check. Oh, yeah, it basically is just ko. I'm thinking of a pretty similar kanji for mingle. I think it's just like the right half of that kanji. Alright, next we have earlier. 5, 6. Alright. So, by itself, it is saki, which is earlier. Senshu, last week, and then sensei, teacher. And we might as well learn that next kanji right now. This kanji is very mean. This kanji has many readings and potentially many meanings as well. This may well be considered the most difficult kanji of them all. And it's so easy to write, too. I heard there was this, like, experiment, like, this test with some foreigners where they just use this kanji all in different ways, and yeah, it's quite the kanji. Anyway, this is how you write it. So yeah, ikiru, umu, hayasu, nama? I don't remember seeing nama there. So yeah, it could also be sho, isho for whole life, umu, birth, ikiru, to live. So yeah, there are many words that use this kanji, and this kanji is all read differently. It's a very mean one. Anyhow, one of the readings for it is sei, as in like sensei. But first, let me go back to sen. Let's see. How can we remember this kanji? Let me get some red. Let's consider this like a paintbrush or a pencil. Yeah, I could see that as a person, or that could be like the number 10, doing that. And then there's like legs. This is the radical for person's legs, basically. I feel like there are many ways we could memorize this kanji, but I guess let's think of it like this. My art teacher has 10 years of experience ahead of me. And we can think of the legs here as like the distance he went to gaining all that art experience. That's how I'm gonna do it. There are definitely other ways you can memorize the kanji. And for sei, this might as well be thought of as a flower that is just beginning to bloom. Like, think of this as a bud. And then there's the ground right here. All right. Let's move on to the next kanji. Character, or letter, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, would you look at that? It's the child again. So yeah, this is a part of the word for kanji, which well, is what we're writing. And then Myoji, last name. So, yeah, we might as well do this. So, it's not quite the thinking cap here. So, let's think of this as like, Let's think of this like a pencil point that is being written on a desk, and the child is enjoying writing. All right, next we have text. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. So when we put that before G, it becomes molji, which means letter. Composition or essay, sakubun, and culture, bunka. So let's see here. 1, 2. So, yeah, we write characters with a pencil. And as for the X, text, TXT. Perfect. I told you I can make learning kanji fun. Although, these like first grade and second grade, what is it? These first grade and second grade kanji make it easier to make fun with them. Alright, next we have village. So, by itself it is mura, village. Soncho, village chief. I have not heard that one before. Anyhow. As you can see, there's a tree right there. So that's simple to know. As for this, well, let's take care of the tree. Let's think of this as a log to make the village. I'm just not sure with this part. Should it be like another person? Maybe draw a little axe? Okay, next is thread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ito. By itself, it is ito, which is thread. Let's see. not sure what I want to do with this one. I mean, you can think of these as, like, pieces of thread. Maybe this is the roll. Not sure what to do with this part. But this is like this kanji doubles as a radical, and it's a radical you'll see pretty often. So, yeah. Next is town. By itself, it is machi, which is town. And then we have chonai, which is neighborhood. So inside a town, there are neighborhoods. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you write the kanji, this part kind of connects. So there we go. So let's think of it like this. This is a rice paddy in town. How do we get there? I guess by a road. Or maybe even think of this as like a neighborhood that comes in from the streets here. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. And then I believe, yes, this is the last kanji of this lesson. Stand. Oh, wait, we didn't actually go over this? Huh, I thought we did. My bad. Anyway, tatsu, to stand, and then we have dokuritsu, which means independent. And it certainly does look like a stand if you envision it. Maybe like a lamp stand. Alright, now that we're done with that, time to get your game on. Right cards. Oh. Let's see, I believe it's this. 8, 10. Here we go. Machi. Ikiru. That's life. Tatsu. Ito. Ji. Manabu. 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boon. Saki. Sanshi. Excellent. And I actually did get 10 this time. Although I don't think it's that game that gets the problem. Do you remember the different readings? Yeah, it's this one. Oh wait, no, it's scrolls. Oh, whatever. Haruka sensei wa Nihongo o shiemashita. Miss Haruka taught Japanese. Oh. There we go. Nihon no bunka ga suki desu ka? Bun. Let's see. Daigaku de Nihongo o manabimashita. Let's see. Learned Japanese in college. Ga. Roku. Shichi. Sensei wa Nihongo ga jouzu desu. Sei. Kanji o benkyou shimashita ka? Ji. Go. Kare wa hayaku tachimashita. He stood quickly. Ta. Kono machi de sushi o tabemashita. Shi. 1、2、3、4、6、7。糸がありますか? You have some thread? 糸。学校に行きましたか? Did you go to school? お。4、5、6、7、8、9、10。小さい村に行きました。ら。There we go. 10 out of 10. Excellent. Next time we're going to talk about trying to do something. Also about trying something out. Alright, one more lesson for the day. Dang, I got something lodged in my throat, sorry. Alright, try. There are two uses of try that I'm going to teach you this time. The one is try to do. The first one is try to do, or exerting your efforts. I'm going to try to go to college. This says that I'm going to work at it, but I'm not sure if it will work. If you want to say that in Japanese, you'll need to use this new grammar rule. Base 5 tosuru. The suru at the end of base 5 tosuru is the suru that we've been using all along, so you can conjugate it for different uses. I will try to win.
勝とうとします。
勝とうとします. And I won't try to lose.
負けようとしない。
負けようとしない. Try to learn these words. Alright, so to win,
勝つ。
勝つ. To lose,
負ける。
負ける. To visualize,
想像する。
想像する. To cheer up,
元気を出す。
元気を出す. To cheer up, to bring out some energy, To conserve.
節約する、
節約する. So how would this work with words that already have suru on them? Can I persuade you to memorize these words?
説得する、
Settokusuru. That is to persuade, to liberate.
自由にする、
Jiyu ni suru. Jiyu means freedom. Arrive.
つく、
Tsuku. To command.
命令する、
Meirei suru. I should have remembered that word. I forgot that. And restrict.
制限する、
Seigen suru. Please try to ace this game. Alright, let's see what we can.
命令する、
To command.
想像する、
To visualize.
自由にする、
To liberate.
つく、
To arrive.
元気を出す、
To cheer up.
負ける、
To lose. A game.
説得する、
To persuade.
勝つ、
To win.
節約する、
To surf? There we go.
制限する、
To restrict. Alright. The other kind of try that I'm going to teach you in this lesson is to try and see or try out. I'm going to try out college. I'm going to see if I like college. The general idea is to do something and see how it is. That's why it uses the word for see in the grammar, base te miru. Try using this grammar in sentences. I will try out eating sushi.
寿司を食べてみる、
Sushi o tabete miru. I will try out talking with her.
彼女と話してみる、
Kanojo to hanashite miru. Try out this game and see if you understand how to use this grammar principle. Alright then. Katou to shimasu.
勝とうとします。
Don't command me. Boku o meirei shinai de.
僕を命令しないで、
That is a, command or request. I'm going to lose and see what it's like. Boku wa makete mimasu.
僕は負けてみます。
I'm trying to persuade him. Let's see. Boku wa kare o settoku shiyou to shite iru. Or shite iru to shiyou? Oh, no, I guess I had it right.
「僕は彼を説得しようとしている。
Please visualize this and see if you like it. これを想像してみてください。
これを想像してみてください。
Haruka, please cheer up. Haruka-san, comma. Genki o dashite kudasai.
はるかさん、元気を出してください。
I'm trying to conserve money. Kane o 節約しようとしています。
お金を節約しようとしています。
I liberated the dog to see what would happen. 犬を自由にしていた。
犬を自由にしてみた。
I arrived in Japan. 日本に着きました。
日本に着きました。
I don't know why they only gave us 9, but there we go. Next time we'll learn about only and except, only to be found in the next lesson, so be sure to come. Alright, and that does it for our lesson set in My Japanese Coach. So let's see what we got ahead of us. We got only and except, onomatopoeia, that's a fun one, Kanji 8, some more information about katakana, the date, not like going on a date, some more katakana, some more kanji, some useful words. What do they mean exactly by that? Oh, okay. Say if you, like, are a tourist and you, like, lost something or something. Something or something. Wow, way to go, grammar. Seasons. Oh, wait, no, I didn't want to... And then stuff about the house. We're almost done. Alright then. Well, that pretty much does it for this stream. Now, I will talk about a little something before I go. Like I said, I'll be posting this on Blue Sky in the YouTube community post. So, after this game and I'm done, like, you know, cramming the grammar in here, which is something you should not do, by the way, I've already, like, learned and memorized most of what this game teaches, so I'm fine with it. But I want to immerse myself through video games. So that is something that I'm going to be doing when I stream, is I'm going to be playing some Japanese video games. So, yeah, I've mentioned Wagotabi before. That is like a nice educational adventure game that has you learning Japanese, and it's like a role-playing game that has you speaking Japanese, where like all the words that you know in English slowly turn more into Japanese. I would like to try that out. But furthermore, there are some other games that I would like to play and like immerse myself in. So I have 4 options for this. So yeah, you have 4 options. I'll basically be making a poll on YouTube, on the YouTube community post. I unfortunately cannot do it for Blue Sky, but I can basically make that up with, you know, the likes that you can get for each post. Alright, so with that, here are the 4 games that I am considering playing in Japanese after we're done with this game. First is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, a beloved N64 classic. It is a, is a game where I just adventure through many places, many biomes. There's an overarching story, you know, Hero of Legend, saving the world, all that good stuff. Another game I'm equally familiar with is Final Fantasy, specifically Final Fantasy 1. I would like to play the Game Boy Advance version of that game. So, yeah, I've played Final Fantasy 1 on my channel before, Final Fantasy Restored specifically. So, we'll actually get to see the game in its original context, and then some, because, well, the remakes kind of add a little bit more into the story. It's presented more like the Super Nintendo Final Fantasy games in a way. Next on the list is something I've not played before, actually, and it is Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon on the PS1. I have Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon Everybody on the Switch, but I would like to give the original a shot. Just to, you know, see what that's like, and who can resist a cute Chocobo character, you know? Probably won't be too difficult. Maybe there will be some grinding. I mean, there's some grinding that you have to do in Everybody as well, so that's probably something that'll happen. And then the last one is something I've played a little bit but haven't finished, and that is Digimon Adventure on the PSP. I would like to get more into the Digimon series, so... And considering just how, like, Japanese of a media franchise it is, and how, like, a lot of the games are just only released in Japan, it would be great if I could get into Digimon through learning the Japanese language. And so I chose that game because it's got furigana, and I also get to be caught up with the original Digimon anime. So, those are your 4 options, but as a bonus, one of the games that I did want to play, but I actually kind of don't want to at the same time, is, you know it, maybe you love it, maybe you don't, it's Pokemon. Specifically, I wanted to play, like, Pokemon Blue version, on the Game Boy. That is a game that I had been using to study Japanese, and I would love it if I could, like, stream myself learning Japanese through that game. But as you know, if you've known me for long enough, I have kind of a vendetta against Pokemon because, well, it's just the games haven't really been that good lately. They haven't caught my interest. The games haven't really evolved in a way that I would like. And not to mention their bullying Power World. Like, say what you will about Power World and how it kind of, like, unabashedly, I think that's the right word I'm using, unabashedly copies some, like, design aspects of Pokemon with its monsters, its creatures, its pals as they call them, and with, you know, throwing a sphere. But them, like, making a patent to get rid of, like, flying creatures for them, like, flying on creatures, like, come on, are you freaking kidding me? And to know that the next Pokemon games are going to be $80 because the Switch 2 is, you know, its first-party games are going to be $80, some of them at least, some would be $70. Like, come on, I'm not supporting that. And frankly, I just don't really want to give Pokemon more exposure. Although, me saying that, I know this is a lost cause, because, well, Pokemon is hella popular, everybody knows it, and people will, like, play it, they will speedrun it, they will do challenge runs, they will do traits, they will socialize with it. There are many things you can do with Pokemon, but I just don't like it. I don't know what they're doing. I sense the ill will. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a hard no. So here's a way for you to persuade me into playing Pokemon. Right now, I'm pretty small with my subscriber count in the Dialist Live section, that is. And not very many people watch me while I'm streaming. So here's a challenge. You have two conditions, either of which I will accept. The first condition is to have 10 concurrent viewers on any of my streams while I'm streaming before I am done with this game, before I am done with my Japanese coach. So that basically means you have a week or two to do this. The second thing is me hitting up 20 subscribers on my live YouTube channel. Not my main Dialist channel. You don't have to subscribe to that right now because it's not really the most active, but if you want to, you can do that as well. But I want 20 subscribers on my live YouTube channel. Oh, you know, I suppose I shouldn't forget about the Twitch side of things, huh? What about followers? There are currently 6 people following me. You know what? 20 followers, that's a third condition I can deal with. If you fulfill any one of those conditions, 10 concurrent viewers while I'm streaming, 20 subscribers on YouTube, my live channel, or 20 followers on Twitch, either one of those within the next 2 weeks, I will play Pokemon as a way to learn Japanese. But in the meantime, the 4 options that I have are Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy I, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon on PS1, and Digimon Adventure on PSP. Those are the 4 options that I am considering, and the Pokemon thing is just a bonus if we can get our numbers up here. So, with all that said, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for taking the offer if you decide that. And the next time I stream will be tomorrow at 5:30 when I continue playing Monster Sanctuary. So with all that said, thank you very much for watching. This is Dialist signing off. See you next time.